There we go. I got it working. I should be live now. Yes, I am live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my broadcast. I hope you can all hear me. I was actually talking for five for 5 minutes to myself without realizing I was not live. I'm sorry about that. It didn't really work out as I expected. But anyway, welcome to my market update. Just going to TradingView because we are going to do the Bitcoin update first, as usual. So what do we have here? We have the Bitcoin chart. It's a daily chart. And what has happened since my last episode? We actually managed to break this resistance. We managed to break it, and then it retested with this red candle here. And now we are on our way moving up. So that's pretty good. And what does this mean for the future? What I think it's going to do is this should be the first wave we had. If this is the second wave and it holds, I think we are going to bust this resistance right here. And I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow or even this week. You know, this might be a little bit more stretched, but as you can see, we have a rising triangle, which is very bullish 9 out of 10 times regarding Bitcoin anyway. So I think we're going out and we will be moving back to retest just as we did here. We went out, we went back, and then we went up. And then we will, of course, break the last all-time high. And this is actually part of a larger Bitcoin pattern, which I'm going to show you now. Usually I would not put the 5 so high. I think it's going to be right around 6,000, which would make a good number. So after this, of course, we would have a correction, and that's where the ABC correction Elliott wave here, it's called correction. It's down. And then we should move up, but I'm just going to remove this. It doesn't apply yet. We have yet to break this resistance. We're probably going to retest it if I'm right. And then the way up is clear. Something else that might happen is that we are going to break this support right here. And that would actually mean a move further down, and I mean to 1800s, but it's very unlikely. So that's the Bitcoin update. It's not very special right now. It's I'm just waiting for something to happen. I entered at 3,000, so I'm all good. Now next we have a Neo chart here. Let me just remove all this because I already made this. As usual, we have a Fibonacci. And I'm not going to put this Fibonacci at the top because as you can see, it makes 0 sense. It's overextended. I'm going to put this down like this. Why am I doing that? Because Bitcoin is like a stock on drugs and it takes everything really seriously. So if it's in a bull trend, it's going to overextend very far. If it's in a bear trend, everybody thinks the world is going to collapse, so they keep selling. You get these massive candlesticks. And this looks pretty neat to me. So what do we see here? We actually have a new uptrend, and I drew this uptrend based on this and this, and I actually managed to buy right at the tip of this candle. I got some buys in, well, really good buys. I still have them. Um, yeah, and what happened after? We are actually in accumulation. I do, however, not believe that we will break this resistance yet. And why do I not think that? RSI is overbought, just as it was here and here. It's overbought. It's maybe going to touch this resistance. Maybe. I cannot be sure. But of course, if it does so, I would suggest to sell and buy back lower. Probably we are going to retest the 0.5 Fibonacci. I do believe that, and in accordance to that, we will be touching this support once again. So yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. And just like with Bitcoin, because I think this actually counts for all of the crypto market, we are going to see a couple of waves, and I think we are in the final wave up before a correction. Like it's going to be pretty major correction, but it's not going to be anything massive. I mean, it's going to be a normal correction after we finish this leg. And of course, I can put this down here. I can put this down here. It's all about the time frame. It just matters as to when we actually break this resistance, because this right here is an ass. Trust me, we went above, we did not manage to break it, and then suddenly boom, and it went hard. It went really hard. We did manage, and this is why I'm bullish, to break the unbalanced volume decline. It's increasing again. And so yeah, two things can happen. Either this can happen, we are going to crash right through this resistance, not very likely, or we are going down once more, like this, up, down, boom. That's what I think is more likely right now. But of course, if you bought, you can put your stop loss below this line. I wouldn't go about selling and buying too much in this area. Just accumulate as much as you can, and you will probably be happy. You will probably be happy about it. So yeah, that's my outlook for NEO. I promised someone from my private trading group I would cover Dash. So that's what we're going to do right now. I already have it set up, so I can explain it fairly easily. So what's happening to Dash? I'm going to expand the unbalanced volume because NEO has a lot more volume than Dash. But that's not a bad thing. What do we have here? Most of you will probably already guess it. As you can see, we have a beautiful increase in unbalanced volume. It's very steady. It's very. I mean, my computer hates me, I swear. Come on. There we go. So the unbalanced volume is increasing. We are currently in overbought state, but that is no problem. As you can see here, on this stop, everybody FOMO'd, it crashed. What I'm more interested about is this stop right here. If you correlate this stop with the volume we had here, see, we had low unbalanced volume, well, relatively low. We made a lower top with much higher unbalanced volume. And those of you who watched my previous live stream saw that I based a trade on this, on Bitcoin, and then it was the other way around. This time we are bullish. And a lot of people figured so, I reckon, because if you look at this candle, it's a massive bullish thing right here. This volume is about, it must be 5 to 6 times what it was at this top, and it's even higher than it was on this major top right here. So What we are building is a bear flag. I think we are going to, let me just draw something. We are going into accumulation phase here. Please note, this should not break. If this breaks, it's invalid. See, this goes all the way back to here. This is our new support. We should accumulate close to the support. And then after that, I think we might have a breakout to around 0.16, which is a pretty neat number if you ask me. Just happens to be so. If I draw out my Fibonacci, let me lower this to the second top. As I said, it's on steroids. Then 16 would be a pretty neat number. We bounced a couple of times after 3.8. And those who bought here were very lucky. I think most of the people didn't get to buy until we were right around in the higher areas. Because as you can see, we made an up all the way from 0.05 to 0.08. Or, yeah. And we broke it. It failed. It was too much of a movement. The bulls couldn't handle it. And it tested again and again and again, and boom, it broke. Retested, and now we are on our way up. And I think 0.16 is a realistic target. So for you guys in Dash, well done. You're in for a good ride. So do we have any questions right now regarding the coins I've just covered? See them yet? No questions so far. I'm just going to continue. Oh, we have a question. Can you use Elliott waves on the Dash chart? Yeah, you probably saw I did not use them. And why did I not use them? If you look at this chart, this must be the most chaotic chart I have ever seen. The only thing I could possibly make from this is a giant bull flag. Like a really, really massive one. I mean, if I were to use Fibonacci on this, sure, I can do it. This is your first leg. This is your second leg, and this would be your third, which does not make any sense at all. It's the FOMO. I mean, I cannot make anything of this. Perhaps after the accumulation, I can try to possibly make something here. One, and then down again. The second one would have to be the longest, so I reckon it would be right at this top and then back. And if I move the Fibonacci, this would have to be at around, yeah. But again, does it really make sense? I don't think so. Sometimes, you know, when you are doing a certain job or when you are working on your car, you use different tools to work on the engine than you used to work on your tires or chassis. And I think it's the same with trading. Sometimes a tool works pretty well. Sometimes the tool doesn't make sense at all. And if it doesn't make sense, don't use it. Just keep going on, use other tools, try to find something that makes sense. And let's see, I do not really see a Head and Shoulders here. I mean, this could possibly be a double top, but I don't think it's a Head and Shoulders. So on to the next one I'm pretty excited about, and which I've also shown last time. I have a lot of positions which I cannot show because people pay for them and I don't want to make them upset. But I will show you this one because I showed you guys the last time. And this is Steam. Let me just draw this out. I'm going to make this a little bit thinner, going to make it red. Same for this one. And there we go. I don't know where the unbalanced volume has gone. I will have to edit again. Unbalanced volume. There we go. Now what is happening here? I will tell you what's happening here. We are on our way to a major breakout. And why are we on our way to a major breakout? This is actually the resistance line. It counted here, you know, it burns through, it went back up above it, and then it went back down. Again, we touched it here once more, so it's a pretty major resistance. But as you can see, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. The unbalanced volume is about to break the downtrend. And we are currently oversold. So even though we are moving up a little bit, we are oversold. We are very close to the resistance. We already broke this resistance. I think we have some beautiful accumulation going on here. As you can see, let me just draw this support. This is our support line. It didn't manage to break through here, didn't manage to break through, didn't manage to break through, and then bam. And last time we broke this support, it exploded. Price went ×3. People made a lot of profit, they cashed out, new people entering, and then the accumulation phase started again. I don't know why this bull flag broke. Could be some whales playing, could be just bad luck. But I do believe we are in for a nice bull run. And if you look at this bump right here, and if you look at where we are right now, it's not even remotely comparable. So I'm just going to put the Fibonacci, and I'm going to do it this way. And we crashed right through the 23. And let's just be imaginative for now. Let's imagine some beautiful things. What if we get here? Can we get there? Yes, I think we can. Absolutely. And if I make another Fibonacci, I draw it the same way. And then we have a target. I mean, I don't think it's going there right away. Our first target is going to be 63. Our second target is going to be 001. But if we manage to break it and we go through and it's all very bullish, then our target should be right around here. Now, what do I recommend for this trade? I recommend you enter it as soon as possible. I recommend to sell half your bag on the first target. So that would mean you have like a free bag because you already took your money out. You have zero risk of losing any more money, even if it goes to zero. You will still have your money, and then just let it sit. And why do I believe in this? Steam actually has 300,000 and I think it's 400,000 users as of today. And it's one of the few blockchain products that actually has a use case that people use right now. I mean, people are using Steam right now. They are making money. They are writing articles. It's growing, and it actually has a use case, unlike so many other coins. Can you use Fibonacci's in an ABC correction? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Yeah, I will show you. Look at this. Although I have to say, the second down leg of a correction is usually 1.6 times as long as the first. So we have our Elliott wave. You see, boom, it's a little bit extended. We go down. This is just right where the top is. Okay, I'm screwing up now. Again, boom, we go up, we go down. We make the second wave, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. The second wave is always the longest. Then we have the retracement, which cannot be further than the first wave up. So if, let's say, if this went here, it's invalidated and your trade is gone. And then this one should always just be a little bit higher. But as you can see, this works quite beautifully. I'm going to remove some clutter because I want to show it to you. And then we have a correctional wave. That's one. A, B, C. And it's a little bit deformed, but we have an ABC wave here. And as you can see, it just follows the Fibonacci as well. There's no difference. And this is what is known. These two waves, you have the major trend wave, consists of 5. Then you have the correctional wave. And this part right here, from the third wave to the B section of the correction, this is what is known as a head and shoulders pattern. And this is why, you know, there's usually a support that runs through here. People are bullish. Yes, we are above the support. And then they see head and shoulders. And this is what the head and shoulders is made of. It's made of the main trend wave in combination with the correctional wave. And because the last wave of the correction is always the worst, it goes down, you know, this might as well have been here. It should have been there. They know, okay, it's a head and shoulders. I'm going to get out of the trade. So yeah, and then finally we have Ethereum. There we go. Just like to put this on a daily. This cannot be the whole Ether chart. Oh, I'm actually looking. This is all paired against ETH. I'm sorry, I'm not used to using Coinigy. Give me a second, this is rather annoying. There we go. We have our daily ETH charts. And here is a beautiful example. of an Elliott wave. You see, you have, I just want to show you this. It doesn't really correlate to today, but you have the first one. The first one runs up here. 3 traces. You have a major third leg. It's always the largest. It retraces and you have a small pop just above this high. This is what is known as an Elliott wave. And then you have the correctional wave. First correction, boom, it's done. Then we go to B. And here you see the head and shoulders. And then people know, okay, shit man, there's a head and shoulders here. I will have to sell. And as you can see, this leg is by far the worst. Now, what is happening here today? I have not checked ETH a lot yet. I can already see the resistance lines. You know, seeing resistance lines is something you have to get used to. When I first started making charts, I might have drawn it entirely different. I might have drawn it like this at the moment. You see, but this is not a valid support line, because a support line or resistance line always has to have 3 validations before it becomes resistance or support. So what are we doing? We are in an accumulation phase, and I think we might be there for a couple more weeks, or at least 1 or 2 weeks. Why do I think that? As you can see, the unbalanced volume has shifted to negative, and this is really bearish. People are selling massive amounts of Ethereum, and I predicted this. And why did I predict that they would be selling this much Ethereum? I mean, it went from positive 1.2 million to a negative 350,000. And why? There was a crash, and all the millions and millions of Ethereum raised from ICOs were sold. All the project managers, whoever managed the ICOs, they were like, oh God, no, our Ethereum is crashing. They sell the ICO money. It crashes, and it crashed really good. And I think they are still doing it, although we have actually found support here on the volume. Boom. Let me turn that green. It did not manage to break the all-time negative. I mean, this does not mean low volume. It just means a lot of the volume is flowing out. It's being sold. And right now we are actually overbought. So I think a few more weeks of accumulation is in place. There's not really a resistance line to be drawn here. I mean, I could potentially draw this. Does this mean a lot? No, it does not. This means basically nothing. I'm just going to change this. This is what we are hicking up as of today. Ethereum is desperately trying to not crash through this support. The only reason why it might crash through support if Neo gets really big, everybody starts using Neo. Fuck Ethereum, nobody uses it anymore. It might crash through the support, but I don't think so. I think we are getting out of this wedge, slowly start moving our way up again. And again, Elliott wave applies. Trading does not have to be difficult. See? 1, 2, 3. Boom. Might as well put this here to make it a little bit more visible. But this is the Elliott wave. You see, then we entered correctional phase, correctional Elliott wave. wave 1, wave 2, oh no, Head and Shoulders, boom. And this is why it is so important to learn those Elliott waves. Learn it. You just watch every video on YouTube about it. Everybody has a different viewpoint. But get those Elliott waves in your head, because this is how the market works. So, yeah, Ethereum, I think more accumulation, hugging this line, hopefully not breaking it. That would be rather bad. I would not like to see that. And after that, we are in for 0.25. Not sure if that's gonna happen this year. Don't think so. Actually, I'm pretty positive this will not happen this year. Was this the largest crash in ETH? Let us check. We take the log scale. No, this was not the largest crash at all. If we look at the logarithmic scale, this was far worse. You know, 2016, major retracement. This is in percentages, by the way, this scale. That's why it looks different. I'm just going to make some more room. And yeah, right now this looks more like a bull flag to me. So yeah. Do we have any questions? Do I think Steam and EOS will open? No, I don't think so. Every chart is different. No coins, you know, altcoins pump when Bitcoin rises, unless it rises too fast, then altcoins dump. And if Bitcoin dumps, then altcoins also dump. So Bitcoin has to be either stable or slowly increasing for an altcoin bull market. And I don't think that applies to any other altcoins. They were all separate coins. Okay. The last thing I want to show you, because it is rather important. And please pay attention. I don't know if any of you have stocks. If you do, this is the Amazon stock. It's forming a major head and shoulders. On-balance volume is declining. Magnus indicator extremely bearish. Things are going to shit for Amazon. And we have the Apple stock. As you can see here, a major extreme bearish divergence. We have a top here, a higher top, lower volume, even a higher top, even lower volume. We are currently forming a head and shoulders on Apple. It's going to crash. A lot of stocks are going to crash. And why am I showing you this? Why, oh why? Look at this. If you look at Bitcoin on the logarithmic scale, actually, not like this chart. Look at it this way. Logarithmic, weekly, boom. Are we in a Bitcoin bubble? No, we are not. I've said it before. Here was the Bitcoin bubble. We crashed a tremendous amount. And right now we are slowly climbing. So yeah. This is the Bitstamp chart. Now if we look here on the weekly, are we in a Bitcoin bubble? You tell me. Move all indicators, remove all drawing tools. Let me draw you a support. Now look at this. we are about to break this major epic resistance. We almost broke it here. You know, I can draw another one. It's no problem. I can draw it like this. This one is already broken, so I'm going to remove that. We have a major resistance here. Now, what is going to happen when we break this? I'm going to do some ghosting. Ghost feed. Sorry, doing it wrong. Bars pattern. The last time this happened, actually happened, this little figure here on the logarithmic scale took place. And what does this mean? Our first bubble will bring Bitcoin to 28,000. Then we will crash for a year, about a year, I think, all of 2018, or at least half. No, it's half. I think this will be a bit more extended. So more like this, you know. But anyway, if this happens again, it will bring Bitcoin to about 100,000 euros. Next Bitcoin resistance at 4,000. Next Bitcoin resistance is right here. This is the resistance. This is the only resistance we have to get. So I'd say if we manage to break 5,000, 6,000, a little bit in that range, and manage to hold the price above that level, then we are set. We are golden. We are all going to be shit rich. It doesn't matter what you buy at that point, it's going to explode. So one more thing before I go. I am currently in collaboration with a famous YouTuber, some people from Forbes, investing.com, and we are going to make an educational website. If it loads, our developer is currently working on it, so sometimes it doesn't quite load. It's going to be called Crypto Campus. Not a whole lot to see yet, but I think the front page is looking nice. If you log in, you're gonna have a shit ton of information, seminars, courses. I'm going to be making live videos for this website every day with the best buys of the week. So soon you will be able to subscribe. Don't do it yet, please, but next week I think you will be able to subscribe for free. Yeah, and that's basically it. If there's no further questions, I will call it a day. So thank you very much all for watching. Appreciate it. And if you want to contact me, you can do so on Twitter @daytradejeffrey. Please make sure to follow me. I'm a nice guy. I post tweets that get a lot of retweets. For example, of this car, it got about 500 retweets. You just make sure you don't miss that. Also, I've got a private group. If you want to join it, just hit me up. It's not always open, but feel free to try. Thank you guys for watching, and we will do another live stream by the end of the week. So yeah, have a good night.